I've just recorded a full-length video discussing trendlines and thought process around trendlines. But I wanted to cover off a smaller video very quickly just to post up on Twitter to discuss current trendline usage, and something which I think like a lot of people overlook. I think a lot of people overlook this point, so I'm just going to take one small section of the video and just quickly discuss it now. So this is the trendline on the 4-hour BTC chart on MEX, and a lot of people have this line drawn, right? They either have this line drawn, like this, or they've got the wick variant, which is like something like this, right? Depending on how you're drawing that out, right? It's something like this, but I'll stick with the candle close for now. You know, they're both representing a breakout at this point, so you know, either one. The key issue with trend lines and the way that they are used is that they provide you with false perspectives on the market, right? Entirely false perspectives on the market. So this level here represents supply, right? It represents supply. It represents the areas in which sellers are looking to sell. And in this instance here, right, the sellers didn't have the same reaction as they had from the last 3 nukes. Something changed and demand wins, right? Either supply moves out of the way or demand just overpowers. So we get this breakout point down here. Now, the reason that, you know, this is providing you with a false sense of what's going on in the market is nothing has changed. Aside from breaking out of this diagonal line, and apart from the supply not being present in the same way it was on the 3 prior touches, nothing has changed. And the reason nothing has changed is that this is still the high. So from a structure perspective, the trend is still down, right? This is still trending down. So there's no change in this just because this line broke. So because there's a breakout does not automatically mean that this is now bullish. What this means is that the supply that was present along this region is now no longer here, but that does not mean that that supply is not sitting here. That still represents a lower high before moving down. So what trend lines very, very often do is they give us a false sense of the market conditions. So because there's a breakout, and because we associate this with being a bullish sign, which it could well be, it changes your mentality immediately into thinking, okay, where's the target? It's got to be like, maybe it's run at 10.5, 10.4 again, looks good. Like when nothing has changed because this thing is still here. And as of yet, you haven't got close, right? We haven't got close to this. So I wanted to cover that off because I think a lot of people utilize trend lines, and I think that they read the price action wrong from trend lines because they don't also use horizontal levels in conjunction with that. Now, what trend lines are very good for, and what's covered off in the video, is they can give us an early indication of when something has changed. Right? So this is an early indication that yes, that supply is no longer acting in the same regard as it is here, here, and here. And it may give us an indication that we are going to push 9.7. But it does not mean that just because this has happened, that we now have some hugely bullish event on our hands, just because this broke. And we quite often hear the term fake out, right? BTC likes to fake out of things. It likes to fake out of channels. It doesn't. You're just not marking a horizontal level. So in this instance here, as I said, the supply is gone, but the market structure is the same. This here is a failure. If it does this, and if it gets back inside here, you say, well, this is a fake out. And maybe yes, like if that's how you want to define it, but the trouble is that in the majority of instances, you're just assessing this situation incorrectly. Alright, so that's the video. Try to keep it as short as possible, and I'll post up the link to the full video once that's edited and updated.